objection or question that I get, and actually a simple answer. And so the question, can God make a stone or rock so big that even he cannot lift it? Now this baffles people, but once you understand the question, the answer is very clear. The answer is actually no. And they go, whoa, but doesn't that show that God is not all powerful? Because if God is all powerful, then he could create a stone so big that he can't lift. But if he's also all powerful, then he should be able to lift that stone. Oh, we have this big problem. But there's not a problem. The reason is because this misunderstands what we mean by God being all powerful or that God can do all things. Christians often say God can do all things. Technically not true. God can do all things that are of one of two things: consistent with his nature and logically possible. God cannot do the logically impossible, and God cannot do things that are inconsistent with his nature. So God can't sin, God can't die, God can't stop existing. There are things that God can't do as a necessary being. There are also things that are logically impossible. God can't create a square circle. God can't create a married bachelor. God can't create a one-ended stick. That's a branch. There are certain things that God can't do. God can't make a world in which 2 + 2 is 7. That's a mathematical necessary truth. And so there are things that God cannot do. And so when we say God can do all things, it means we can do all things that are logically possible and consistent with his nature. Now, if you understand this question of God being, the Christian view, the greatest possible being, God being a maximally great being, he is the best, then you can't have anything better than the best. If something was better than the best, then that would be the best. So how I ask my students this question, or how I responded back, is like, if you want to rate a movie from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how much did you like the movie? And they go, it was a 12. Well, you're saying it was so amazing, it was better than the best, but that's technically not possible. The best score you can give is 10. You can't give it a 12. And if so God is the best, you can't have anything better than him. If God is the greatest, you can't have a stone greater than him. Nothing can be greater than the greatest, or else that thing wouldn't be the greatest anymore. So a simple response to this question, can God create a stone so big he can't lift? No. Here's what God can do. God can create the biggest possible stone, and then he will lift that stone. And the problem is solved. Hopefully that helps you deal with this very common question, trying to show an inconsistency with the nature of God. It's simply because they have a false view of what omnipotence truly means. Have an awesome rest of your day. See you guys later.